visual on esports.
Yeah.
Is there visual now, or it should be switched now? Yeah, we go.
It's okay. Lol. 5 minutes of no visual.
Ah! That's my fault.
That's okay.
I thought if it was just the screen, it would work as well for in-game. So.
It doesn't work. It's weird because it
Uh.
can't take full screen programs.
Alright.
Yeah.
Well, now the more you know.
Guess what though? It's only 1-1-1. And oh wow, in the mid lane.
There we go.
Oh,
If
we.
If you've been missing visuals for the last 5 minutes and you're interested as to what's happened, we've had one or two minor disconnects from the blue team's Caitlyn. They were taking the early advantage, but have now been pushed a little bit behind because of it. Iron and Nivea on mid lane have stayed incredibly even with each other.
At least people can see now what's going on.
Yep, they can see for themselves. On top lane, we had Rengar with a unsuccessful gank that ended in a death by minions. And other than that, a lot of trading going on. Gnar is definitely making Azir pay for every single minion he gets.
Yeah, and even though the
we have Shyvana lying in wait for the Rengar.
So much damage onto this Rengar. Rengar's supposed to flash. Azir jumps in. He holds
He's-
the Gnar. Is he able to get no? He has got the stun. He's fucked up. He out. Flash.
Oh!
Oh, he's not able to do it. Azir finish off Rengar. And he's gonna get the kill on Gnar. Oh, he takes it.
Oh!
No, outplays so hard. Wow.
Oh. Wow.
What a fight up top! And look at that Shyvana! How low is she?
Very low. How low is that exactly? 59 health.
Incredible!
Oh, on bot lane, Thresh is going to grab Annie, but there's no follow-up.
So what just happened there? 'Cause
On top lane, oh wow. Well, Shyvana was just waiting for the Rengar to come into the brush. When he got there, she tried to just put up as much damage as she could, because she knew Rengar's only level 4. I think they might have known that Rengar's flash was down as well. Unless he did use it there.
no, they forced the flash out of him.
Oh, okay, they did force flash out, because he stood a little bit dumbstruck next to Shyvana for longer than I expected.
Yeah. I mean, he pulled down to about 40% HP before he even flashed out. And then I thought that the, red team completely lost that fight. Then Mega Gnar comes in, deals so much damage. to
Mega Gnar
the
comes in, he gets the double wall stun off, getting them both very low. Forcing the he forced the flash as well, didn't he, from the Shyvana?
Yeah, I mean, Shyvana got instantly knocked out. And then the, Rengar staying too close to this Azir, underestimating the zone and the range on this Azir. Gets killed, but then Gnar completely outplays the Azir. Absolutely incredible. And it ends up being a 1-for-1 up top.
Yeah, which obviously, after the beginning of that fight, is really good for Red Team.
I think this is, it tells you a bit about how this will go later into the game. So the Azir is 43 to 58 now to the Gnar. And it's, when that Mega Gnar comes, if Red Team can play around this, they have such a strong tank.
Well, it looks like Mega Gnar wants to go in right now, but Azir will just escape away quite easily.
Yeah, and this is the strength here, which is that blue team don't have a real tank. This Azir will not tank up damage.
Shyvana has the potential to get tanky. Of course, it seems like she's going to be building the Devour enchant first, because that does work very nicely on Shyvana. A lot of auto attacks going off. Yeah. I believe it does proc twice.
Compared to the Gnar.
True. I mean, Gnar normally gets like 1 damage item as well. It really does depend on what the Shyvana is going to build after she finishes her jungle item.
Yeah.
Because, for instance, Rengar is definitely not going to be a tank. Gnar...
Yeah. It will come down to when they make these fights, because if we look at these 3 20-minute fights, I mean, if they can play around the Gnar ulti and the Mega Gnar, Red Team have such a strong team fight.
On mid lane, he's going to land a charm, and it's going to be enough to knock.
Can they get a kill? Yes, they do.
Unfortunately, the egg won't save you that time. Rengar too afraid to go in, so he just stays and watches. Unfortunately, as We
You
have
can see that
omelets
Rengar was
a
in the
la Ari.
area, which might have made Anivia, you know, a little bit overconfident, thinking that she'd have the 2v1. Of course, then Shyvana makes the early gank and Rengar isn't able to get there in time.
Rengar's damage is not quite enough.
Yeah, and we have to look at where this first level 6 Rengar ulti goes, because it's so important for Rengar to make use of these ultis and make sure that they lead to kills in this early game.
It's true, the cooldown of his ultimate starts very high.
Yeah.
Because it starts
And
off
outside of his, once he loses ulti, I mean, Rengar does not have that much in his kit. He does not do much once his ulti is burned, so it is absolutely important to make sure that he can convert the ulti to a kill.
He's not a champion known for his ganks pre-6.
But looking at the goal,
Oh,
15.3
Caitlyn almost manages to just sneak a kill on Thresh there, just with the Piltover plus auto attacks.
And look at the items on the Jinx and Caitlyn, it's absolutely even with that DC.
That's it, yep.
Why didn't Jinx go back to get a BF? I thought when she
did.
She had,
She's apparently, rather than getting a BF, she went for a pickaxe, Dorans, and boots.
yeah, she must have just missed out on it.
No, she had the money.
Oh.
She had the money for it. She
Really?
just decided, yeah, she just decided differently apparently.
Oh, and the Rengar.
Oh, on mid lane, it looks like Ari's going to be going aggressive again. Oh, Unikitty will pop the flash, but Ari also will pop the flash.
Not able to get anything else.
No
out of
escape. I have blades, absolutely knows that there's no egg on that Anivia. Up on top lane, Na is going to use Mega Na to force the flash from Azir, but Azir
wow.
will make
And
it away.
this Nard's completely destroying that lane. And actually, whilst that mid lane fight was happening in the bot lane, Rengar used his ulti to try and get the gank on Caitlyn, but isn't able to catch up. Didn't have that flash to jump on her. And now we do see Shyvana coming around to dive this bot lane, and they will take this bot lane turret. The first turret going to blue team. And they will be able to rotate to this dragon now. Will they take it? Yeah, and they will take this.
It looks
because-
like they're definitely going to try it.
Yeah, Rengar is top right now, so there's no way they can contest this.
Yep.
Red team have to make something out of this. Either they dive the Azir to try and get a kill.
They don't even know what's going on necessarily. They're not going to know at all.
Yeah.
It looks like Azir has
Oh.
overstayed his welcome in the tower, and Rengar.
This is the Bolas. Can he get the next one? He will kill it. And they get the kill to Rengar.
Unfortunately, the tower is not being enough of a friend. It
Oh,
won't.
and the bot lane. Jesus collapsed by the Annie and Caitlyn. He's so low. They're taken down by the Shyvana. And this was
So she's gonna run
just
away.
such a big mistake in the bot lane. Oh wow, what happened to the Rengar?
What did happen to the Rengar? This is a good question. I was also watching bot lane there.
Yeah, it looks
Oh,
like-
Ari's going to go full aggro on Anivia once again, popping all 3 parts of her ultimate, ignite, and just finishing up with a couple of auto attacks, to be honest.
Yeah, and I have blades on this Ari 4-0 now. Absolutely insane. Someone needs to control him.
Unfortunately, ignite is still up on Anivia. It hasn't been very useful.
Yeah, and this is exactly what we were saying right in the pregame. Anivia has no mobility, and it is so hard to dodge that charm, you know, from this Ari. It's a really hard matchup to play, and this is exactly how we expected it.
Ari moves around so much, and Ari does have healing, but just not quite enough. Ignite obviously does work incredibly well against champions with a lot of healing as well, but especially with the rise of the Morellonomicon, it's definitely lost a lot of favour with mid laners who aren't looking for that really strong one-on-one.
Yeah, and blue team take the top turret just there, giving them a 2k gold lead at 15 minutes.
So Na is doing absolutely his best to kind of bleed every single drop that he can out of his ear, but unfortunately the other lanes are just going to be doing too well.
Yeah, the biggest problem here is that Red Team really needed this Na in the team fights. They absolutely needed that, because Na was the only one with the higher farm and actually winning lane. So they absolutely needed him to join, but they weren't able to get it. And it
He
just
does
meant
have
that-
teleport, so maybe he can use that for a
and
fight.
Nivea gets caught out again by the Ari, doesn't get the charm build.
No ults on Anivia. Oh, wait, there is an ult.
Is he gonna get those?
Oh. Rengar is gonna get the kill with the flash.
Annie and Shyvana's on build. Can he get this Anivia? Oh,
Yes.
can he get the Anivia?
So a lot of damage coming out of Shyvana there with the ultimates, Dragon Fury.
Yeah.
Dragon
Oh,
Sin.
and Caitlyn comes in, he will get the ult.
Caitlyn isn't gonna give them a chance.
Very nice there. That was just crazy.
Azir did have a fight with Na as well to stop him from being able to come down and help. Azir obviously lost this fight, but it did keep Na away. He's just not been able to join in any of these fights. So even though he is stronger than Azir, it hasn't really made much of a difference yet.
Yeah, and let's talk about that mid lane fight just there. I mean, Ari caught out the Anivia, but then she didn't see the Rengar ulti come in. And actually that Rengar ulti baited the Anivia to stay and fight, which actually meant that Ari was able to turn around, force the passive onto Anivia, and stall out long enough for the Shyvana to come in and kill off the
Oh
Anivia for
my,
the kill.
yeah, it forced Rengar's flash as well. If Rengar didn't have the flash, I would have gotten away with it too. Probably managed to get Rengar with an Orb of Deception, and Shyvana came in to sweep up the egg.
Yeah, absolutely, and it was just such a avalanche here. If you look at blue team, they're now at 3k up. You know, that was another 2 kills for blue team.
Oh, Anivia
Wow.
is a little bit over. Unfortunately, Anivia suffering the same problems as my Brandon in that last game. Just simply
Yeah.
not mobile enough.
Yeah.
Oh, he's gonna flash right into the thresh hook.
And she gets killed. Jinx kills her.
There. The Jinx ult comes in to sweep up. get that.
Blue team are able to get the turret off of that, and it does mean that trade goes in favor of blue team.
Absolutely.
Azir
Azir.
flashes and ultis the Jinx, forces the Jinx out, they force Jinx to flash out, but then Azir is getting pulled out by the Mega Gnar is not there, and it cannot
Mega Gnar won't be up for a while. So, however, if Rengar is gonna land that oh, the wall stun.
Jinx dealing us so much damage in the backline, now jumps in against Annie and Azir goes down. That is a 4-for-1 to red team. What a turnaround!
Wow, absolutely insane team fight there.
What just happened there? That was insane.
It's hard to say. I feel like I need to watch it again to see everything that happened.
Absolutely incredible. This red team was just 3k down. You know, but before was what 12 to 6.
The Gnar, the Gnar Mega, the Mega Gnar was all the way down. It was a long way off. Unfortunately, he was able to build it up nice and quickly and get it up to that crucial stage of the fight. So 2 people into the wall.
Yeah, and like you said, he didn't even have the Mega Gnar at the start of that fight. In fact, Jinx was pulled down. I have no clue how that
The
happened.
Rengar managing to land the bolus toss on Caitlyn as well, rooting her in place for a nice easy kill. Oh,
Yeah,
could
that
be
was
part of
absolutely
that
the
as well.
changer. The Caitlyn getting caught up by the Rengar.
It looks like Shyvana's going to look for the dragon, but they're a little bit surrounded right now. Nar's going to TP in as well.
Turned down completely.
Unfortunately, Shyvana does have her ultimate, but
Oh!
she's not going to be able to
Ari
take it.
flashed into the pit for that as well. No, sorry, Shyvana flashed.
So yeah, Shyvana decided to try to save her ult for the extra jet. Oh!
For Jinx.
See, this is the problem with Shyvana just not being tanky enough. If we take a look at her items indeed, she's decided to go and try to build a Blade of the Ruined King rather than anything tanky. So, even though she looked like she had quite a lot of health there, the Jinx ult is going to just be able to take her straight out with its execute.
And Jinx without even an Infinity Edge at 20 minutes. This Jinx is not powered up yet, but she's 4-1 and 3.
413 with 150 farm. How much money is she holding on to? She has 8,000 gold. There you go. Oh no, she doesn't. Sorry, what am I talking about? Sorry, 3.5. What am I talking about? Reading the wrong one. That makes more sense. 3,500 gold is still
This is incredible.
a lot to hold on to.
Yeah, with a 3k gold unspent on this Jinx, and they're still winning these. They're still getting these kills. And what a comeback for Red Team. They were at one point 3 to 4k down. It is now pretty much even.
Absolutely. 4 towers, 12 to 11 kills. Always exact on the for gold front. Nah is going to take away blue team's blue buff, while Anivia is going to secure their own.
And Caitlyn did just reconnect.
Unfortunately, it does seem that Caitlyn is having a fair few connectivity issues.
And I think we're coming into the mid game here, and it's exactly what we said before. This lack of any tank or anyone who can, deal out, take the damage on the front line is really hindering this blue team.
Azir and Giovanna are going to come in on Rengar. Rengar's going to try to pop his ult, and he is going to make it invisible.
Did he get out on the
He's going to land the lantern.
Press to safety.
The dark passage.
Yeah. And they need more wards. Actually, in fact, if you look at this, all of Red Team's wards are deep down in that blue team bottom jungle.
They do have a lot of deep wards, but not many of their own.
Yeah.
To be fair, they have been playing it very pushed out until recently.
But if you look at this now, blue team, their ward control is absolutely immaculate. They've completely warded out this Red Team bottom jungle, so they can push onto this bottom inner turret now.
They're missing anything on River if they decide to want to retreat, though. But it's true, they've got good protection from the flanks.
Now he lands the charm on the ring. He gets
Oh.
Shimano jumps in, they're gonna get killed. They
Thresh was able to land the death sentence, but unfortunately he wasn't able to kind of get the flare off afterwards. He manages to nimbly dash away.
Yeah, well at the time the biggest problem was Jinx and Anivia, the two damage dealers were not there, so they could not instantly destroy this Ahri, and it just meant that they weren't able to get anything out of it, and a free turret to blue team.
However, red team also did take a turret, so it's still incredibly even.
Absolutely, and this is the time for Red Team now to start pushing when Blue Team are backed and try to get some of that vision, get back some of the control of their side. You can see the two pink here doing a lot of work.
Jinx's itemization now looking a lot better with the Infinity Edge, Zeal, and an Avarice Blade. So instantly we've gained those IE crits and a lot of crit chance.
Yeah, and what we have to keep in mind here is that the later this game goes, the more in favour it turns towards Red Team. As the Gnar gets tankier and this Jinx really hits a hyper carry stage.
I mean, you say that, and I'll agree that Gnar, does scale incredibly well into late game, but Azir is also an incredibly strong late game scaling champion. I mean, the Caitlyn as well, is a very strong late game ADC. Not as strong as Jinx, I suppose, but both teams do have strong scaling into the late game. It's not. I don't feel like that difference in game time is going to cause so much of an issue.
To whether or not Red Team are able to deal out enough damage, and Rengar gets the stun onto Anix, and nothing comes from that.
Oh, the Jinx ult is gonna whisk it away. Rengar ult now. He's gonna go and jump onto the Caitlyn. The heal from Caitlyn is going to allow her to. Oh! That was close there.
She's landing some insane OPs this game. But that fight, it looked like Red Team had it, but then Rengar just chased too deep. None of his team was there.
No, it's true. Yeah, he was so close to the Caitlyn though, and she was very low health. Like all he needed was that little bit of extra distance, that little bit of increased movement speed to get that savagery off, and she would have gone down.
And what I will say is strange about this Red Team's they do get rid of dive. This is
Looks like Azir is not going to be able to do anything here. Looks like Gnar could tank that for a while longer if he wanted to as well.
In mini Gnar form as well. But do Red Team get caught out? No!
Oh, the Caitlyn net manages to push her just beyond the line of ice.
And I think this is the time for Red Team to back out now.
It does seem so. There's not much they can. They're not going to be able to do much under a turret right now, even if Gnar can tank it for days.
And going back to this, you know, a really strange thing about this red team itemization is you've got the Azir, the Ari, and the Annie, and even Shyvana doing quite a bit of magic damage as well, but no MR. I mean, I think a Rocket of the Island Ari would be an absolutely perfect item here.
Well, one of Nard's first items was the Hex Drinker, and you've got a Hex Drink on Rengar as well, so there's some consideration going in there. You've got 2 TPs coming in for blue though onto the dragon. They're going to scare off red. Nard is going to be stuck right there in the middle. The Shyvana will finish it. Jinx is going to go down too. And Nivea is going to go into egg form. Is she going to go unnoticed? No, she's absolutely not. And Rengar is going to prowl around the back there. He's still quite high health, but there's just nothing doing for him. His ult is still on cooldown from the last fight. Still quite a long cooldown.
Misplaced the Gnar. He was teleporting into the jungle, and right at that moment, red team.
Oh, Rengar is going to appear behind Ari though, but Ari lands the charm.
He is not even to 1v4 here. 1v5.
He really wanted to look for a pick, but unfortunately, Ari was on guard, landed the charm quickly, flashed away, and then Caitlyn was able to come in and pick it up.
I mean, he didn't even have ulti, which was, I think that was just an absolute mistake there. Should just back off and try to defend the turret.
Azir is going to take away both of Red Team's buffs, the blue and the red.
Yeah, if we go back to this dragon fight,
Yeah.
the biggest problem was that the Gnar TP down, absolutely perfect, but then the red team back off and let him instantly die. He gets charmed, CC changed.
He got stuck right in the middle of blue team, and as tanky as he is, he wasn't able to survive that forever. So he did go down, and then it was.
He did not even have any. Oh, Jinx steals the blue buff.
Oh, I missed that. Did she really manage to steal it with the ult?
What a nice rocket. But Gnar didn't even have Mega Gnar at that time, so he had no tank stats whatsoever. And red team, the worst thing is red team chose to engage after he died, and that was just the end after that.
Yeah, indeed. Without Gnar, who's their pivotal tank and really kind of like bruiser at the same time, Rengar unfortunately has a few kills now, but still just isn't doing that well. So you can't really be relied on too much in these team fights, other than for trying to pick someone off at the beginning with his ultimate.
Yeah, and I think it is high time for, you know, someone to get this Locket of the Iron Solari. They're dealing out so much. Think about the Azir and the Annie and the Ari as well. They're doing so much.
Looks like blue team is going to want to try to take this Inhib tower then, if they're going to be putting up the Azir Sun Disc.
Yeah, and Jinx does back though. It doesn't look like they will be able to do anything here when this Jinx backs.
It's true that at the moment, I'm not sure, do they realise that Jinx isn't there, because now is the time to press their advantage before she gets there.
Yeah, and this is one of the problems with their comp, which is that they don't have a tank, so they're not able to try and push forward, because they will get pulled down quite easily. And Mega Gnar is coming up. Did he look?
Oh, the Azir going out a little bit strangely, maybe just trying to stop the engage. Caitlyn is going to be DC'd, and they're just going to take it. No mercy. Rengar going to jump onto Shyvana. Jinx. Not going to be enough.
And Azir is getting completely chased.
Oh, Azir gets hit by the shock blast. So he's going to get hit by the zap and not be able to make that in away.
Yeah, and Rengar getting out by the skin of it, Steve. That was so close. And all of that stemming from Caitlyn's DC. So unfortunate.
Yeah, blue team just, playing that, it's been a very close game. Blue team been playing that a little bit better, but having that little bit of a decent problem. It looks like red team now is going to take advantage once again of this situation and go straight in for the Baron buff. It looks like blue no, but are they going to be quick enough? Baron is a lot weaker now in early game.
And look at this Caitlyn though. She's just
1,000 health, and it is
Red
going to be
team
gone.
pushes Baron straight away.
Gnar is, 2/3 of the way towards Mega Gnar. Everyone
And
else
look
not
at
looking
this as
too
well.
bad.
This whole time Azir had only just spawned. There was no way that blue team could have fought for this Baron.
No, unfortunately not. Unfortunately, all of that created by the opportunity of a DC'd friend.
Yeah, and the first Baron of the game going to red team. So, will they be able to make anything of this Baron and try to push down some of this? You know, in fact, they have not got many towers right now. Nearly all of blue team's outer turrets are still there. Sorry, inner turrets.
It's true, but neither team exactly has many turrets around outside of their base.
Yeah. And what I'd really like to see now from the red team is group up with the Baron with strong team fighting comp. You know, force the siege and force the blue team to fight you head on with the Baron.
Baron is incredibly strong in the earlier on in the game it is, because it's still giving static AD, static AP. The minion buff it gives is absolutely insane when your enemy team doesn't have a proper carry or wave clear.
Yeah, oh, and Rengar gets caught out by the Azir, he's taking so much damage.
Unfortunately, Azir doesn't quite have the kit to be able to take someone out completely. Oh!
Flash and Anivia, what is she doing? Anivia!
Nivea is going to be the weak link this time, losing her egg as well. That's got to hurt. Nah, thinking about pushing for that second tower in top lane, but it looks like he's actually going to recall because they are worried about losing this inhibitor tower.
With Anivia going down, they need to red team to back up right now and defend this mid in here. Whoa, but they do so much damage. Those Jinx.
Oh, the Caitlyn is going to let Rengar jump on her, but then flash away.
He's gonna get taken down. No, he's not. They can't chase down this blue team either.
Oh, they're going to pop his flash though, because he's being too greedy, too brave. Unfortunately, maybe if red team didn't have Baron buff, that would have gone a little bit better. Red team just kind of pulling out enough damage to scare them away there.
And this works out perfectly for blue team. All they want to do right now is stall out this Baron, you know, waste some of the red team's time, make sure they don't get anything off of it, and then when the Baron is down, re-engage them.
Nah, is going to just be taking advantage of the fact that he can't really be dealt with right now though. He's just going to go straight for that dragon, just get in the way. Oh, he jumps over and wall stuns.
Oh, he gets the kill on the Shyvana. Jinx gets the kill. Fresh gets the kill and Iron Thrust 3 for 1.
Oh, he's going to get away with the flash. The Jinx ult comes through, but not much here to do.
And that is a 4 for 1. What a ballsy jump from Nah.
Like I said, Nah just taking advantage of the fact that he just can't really be dealt with right now. They did manage to kill him, but unfortunately, being able to kill one person sometimes just isn't enough when it costs you everything. Oh, he's going to ult in and try and be brave, but it didn't really work out, and she's going to have to back off again straight away and lose this inhibitor tower. And by the looks of it, the inhibitor too. Jinx is fast pushing.
Yeah, and they will eventually will take the inhib turret off of that and back off.
I'm going to point out here as well now, Shyvana, after the Blade of the Ruined King, is going for Trinity Force. So, really not tanky, really kind of going proper damage there. So, they don't, so you're right. The blue team does not have a tank, and that is hurting them. Nah is obviously, you know, the main crux of the difference here.
Yeah, and you look at that last fight, I mean, this was just showing you exactly what's going. Wow, Azir gets a solo kill on Anivia. But I mean, that's exactly what we said is going to happen, which is this Nah 1v5 in the back of the Baron pit for a good 10-20 seconds. He was 1v5ing.
I wouldn't have called that a 1v5, but 1v3 maybe, like very well 1v3ing.
But he was taking 3 damage.
But the whole point is, yeah, he was taking damage from both the main carries of blue team, and just and at the same time killing them. Oh, Thresh is going to wander a little too far and get taken out.
I do believe that Thresh is not looking at his game at that point. I think he was looking at the map or something.
I do want to see a good Tibber stun from this Annie. I don't think we've seen the kind of the true potential that can come from the engage of an Annie here. Because Tibbers can act a little bit like a tank, you know. Lot of health, he can soak up a lot if he just gets in the way.
We haven't seen any flash Tibber so far, and look at the Boots of Mobility. That's a home guard enchant, not the distortion that we usually expect for flash Tibbers.
Oh, that's true. Maybe flash Tibbersing isn't on the mind.
Yeah, but Blue team have done well to get those 2 picks. on the Anivia and the Fresh, and with that they're able to stall out again for a little while. But we are getting to that
Azir
late.
is going to erect
Yeah.
his Sun Disc.
And if we look at this Jinx now, 8-2-5, 330 CS, 100 CS over the Caitlyn.
Oh
He is
wow.
so strong.
Shyvana is going to try and be aggressive against Gnar, but is realizing they are alone. It's Annie is going to land the stun, but unfortunately it's just too low health. Oh, but Anivia does have the egg, and Shyvana looks like she's been baited to her own death.
And this whole time Jinx was 2v1 in the bot lane.
Oh well.
And that is a 3-for-1 somehow going to the red team. This was an Azir plus Caitlyn versus Jinx going down, and Jinx is able to trade her death for the Azir.
Wow, and unfortunately mid lane is not going to be able to hold it in without their allies. Baron is going to be up in 20 seconds, so it looks like red team might start to kind of secure that. We do see a number of wards around the area, but even if there are wards around, can they stop them? You know, it's up in 10 seconds. We're only seeing Azir and Shyvana up in the same amount of time.
Yeah, I think this would not be the right call. Looking at this bot and top wave shoving in, these are enormous waves. Maybe 3 waves worth of
Oh,
minions
that's
there.
true.
And yeah, red team do just back off to clear up these waves. They'll probably set up for the Baron and go for the fight after.
Red team probably feeling reasonably confident, at least in their map control, allowing them to just kind of push it out again, maybe get a pick, and then
Yeah.
pick it up.
And with the Jinx heading back there, they are looking to get this 5v5 team fight by the Baron.
We do hear the Rengar ult go. He's gonna run in. He's gonna flash, and he's gonna actually just attack the Annie.
Fresh, what is Fresh doing?
Oh, do you see the Caitlyn ult block by Gnar there? He used the jump, perfectly bouncing it off a minion. Oh, but he's not going to be able to save. The Caitlyn starting to really hurt Gnar as well, actually. That makes a difference.
And 2 for 4. Again, this turnaround. Don't forget that this blue team is currently at 4k down at the time. Probably about 8k down.
Looks like Caitlyn is going to go for the ban, believing that she is enough to tank it with a little bit of help from Azir.
Yeah, but she is taking a lot of damage, and I'm not sure she should be tanking.
She's not taking more damage than Baron is, though, percentage-wise. Gnar is on his way, full on health, but he is going to be just way too slow. Is he going to go for it?
He should be able to take out this Azir.
I don't know. The thing is, he'd have to go in to take out the Azir, and then the Caitlyn does hurt him now.
The Jinx rocket narrowly misses. Not able to pick up that kill. Second round of the game goes to blue team.
That is good for them. However, Dragon up as well. Looks like Gnar's going to be taking no nonsense, go straight away for that. 2 dragons for red team so far. This will give them the 5% move speed. That will be pretty useful for Rengar when he's ulting towards them. Pretty useful for Gnar to get into the right position.
Yeah, and what we saw in that team fight, I mean, essentially what happened there was perfect targeting by blue team. The Annie, you know, CC onto the Jinx, the Ahri dives right onto the back line. They're only focusing this Jinx. They knock her out, and that's most of your damage gone at that point. You've only got the Anivia left who's dealing out, you know, that damage.
This is true. And again, their team comp does have quite a lot of damage. You always do have Rengar. It's just that after his ultimate, it is quite easy to kite him if you have a nice range damage sorcerer of your own.
And the problem with that was that the Rengar ulti got popped, but he walked right into a Caitlyn trap, which meant he was seen and he completely spun for a full, you know.
Right now, blue team looks like they want to push. However, there are big waves building up against them on top and bot lane, so they're not going to be able to stay here forever unless they really want to, unless they're going to give up quite a lot of tower health, actually.
And the exact opposite of what was happening 5 minutes ago.
It's true. Baron buff teams, their minions are still losing. Azir, however, has gone top lane now to rectify that problem, at least for the moment. However, it is going to leave his Sun Disc vulnerable, and even maybe the rest of blue team vulnerable. The Rengar ult is gonna come in as well. There goes the flash. No one's killed Caitlyn.
And Red Team are going down. This is gonna be a 4-for-1.
Oh my god. Champions being thrown left, right and centre in that team fight. But ultimately, Caitlyn standing in the middle of it all. No one even touched her. She didn't get CC, she didn't get hurt. Just able to keep laying down that damage. And at the end of the fight, had too much health for anyone to even challenge her. Almost able to get the Rengar. Are they going to look straight for the win? They've got 20 seconds here.
Yeah,
Just against the Rengar. They have the ban buff minions. Rengar is going to jump. He is not going to be able to take Annie down and will go down, leaving Red Team's base completely wide open for the win.
And blue team take it.
Well, we have 36 of the 41 minutes of footage at least. It's enough to get a general gist of the idea.
What
A very
an
good
incredible
game.
I mean, the early game going so much in blue team's favor, then red team completely destroying the mid game, not able to close it out, and blue team turn it back around in the late game.
Let's switch back quickly to my monitor, and we can have a look at some of these, some of the end of game results. Yeah, damage dealt to champions, Caitlyn, Azir, both really high up there, while on red team, there's only really Jinx doing a lot of champion damage.
Yeah. And this was the big thing, was that if they can't protect the Jinx and let her, power down those enemies in the back, then red team just didn't have the damage. Look
There
at
was some
Emilia
amazing
being-
team fights there though, with the Gnar ult throwing champions one way, Azir ult throwing champions the other way. You've got Shyvana, Dragon Descent coming in, knocking everyone with her.
Yeah. And that final team fight, it looks like Gnar had the jump on the back line, but Caitlyn was able to flash out of there, only gets the stun on the Ahri, and that just meant that Caitlyn was able to just deal it out and destroy that Gnar.
Absolutely. A very good game.
Yeah, so thanks for joining us for today's Rainbow. Some great games, especially this last one. Absolutely insane games coming out today.
Very close, and that's how we like them.
Yeah. Any closing words?
I'm surprised that Shyvana paid off, to be honest. Like, I know that Shyvana's have a lot of damage and stuff like that, but seeing, like, if we look at her final item build, after the 24, she went for the Thornmail. And Thornmail is one of those items, you need health. You need health, because Thornmail is a lovely item against AD carries, against high physical damage dealers, even like Rengar, but you need health to make it work, really. So I'm a little surprised by it, but it seemed to work out. The Shyvana ult was able to clear a lot of damage. Shyvana was able to kind of last in a team fight, although I guess I would have liked to see kind of at least one tanky item in there that wasn't Thornmail.
But no, I mean, really great game coming out here to end off the day. So,
Absolutely.
Yeah, thank you everyone for watching.
So until next week, and I believe tomorrow you have Cambridge, some name for that.
Backlash 4.
I'll be the one.
Sponsored by Bank of America, Merrill Lynch. Sorry, Bank of Merrill Lynch.
Bank of Merrill Lynch, opposed to Bank of America.
Is it Bank of America Merrill Lynch?
I don't know.
I think it's Bank of America Merrill Lynch. Anyway, they're not sponsoring us, so I don't want to say anymore.
Enough. And then next week, Rainbow League again, and Newell, I believe, starting up next week, right?
Is it?
We
What
the
I do know
15th
is
of February.
Yeah, but from what I understand is that the UCL League of Legends LCS is actually gonna start this week. So maybe some of those games will show up.
Do you know when those games are those just around the week, sort of, whenever, or there's set times for these?
Yeah, so each team plays one match throughout each week, and it's up to them to schedule it. So whether or not that gets streamed, I'm not entirely sure.
Basically, I think probably the easiest way to do it is to post on esports. If people want to do, if once people have scheduled their games, if they want to see if there's anyone available to shoutcast it, then they can always ask, sort of thing. You know, never any harm in asking.
Yeah,
But otherwise, it's mostly going to be up to them if they're the ones scheduling the game times.
yeah.